So this is GBP's interface currently. From seeing it, immediately I logged in. And of course, we all know GBP is in an uptrend. And it has been for at least some time now. Even though you go to the daily, look at this main trend, you know. So I'll just make it as easy as possible. There is still a continuation of this trend because there is no major structure that has been broken. And the sell that we had last week or for the past 2 weeks was just a retracement to such points, yeah? So this was literally just a retracement because we are following what the trend has to offer. But this is the daily time frame. Can just use it for marking major supports and resistances. But then when we come back to the 4-hour time frame, where we identify the trend, the main trend, of course it's still kind of bullish. You can see that. So we try as much as possible to follow the same trend. Now, of course, you can establish minor trends in there for it to take small positions, but the best thing to do is to always wait for the trend that is in line with the trend, you know. So literally, GUS currently, it seems like it has changed from that downward movement. Why? It's because of the evidence that it has broken above such structure, you know. It broke above structure because we follow the same basics, lower low, lower high. And this was a high from the low. Then that high has been broken here. So it has broken, it gave it a retest, and now we should be priming to continue with that trend. And in the same place, we have these highs and lows that have presented themselves. And they're trying to tell us that the week may be possibly bullish. Yeah. So that's what we are going to go with. And of course, I'm going to analyze Bitcoin because I've been trading it a lot. And because it was very easy to trade. So what I would add from here is just major trend lines, maybe say like running from here and pushing it, but not to crowd my chart. I can decide first leave it out, you know, but you always have to remember that you have to redo that analysis every single time you open the chart. So there is this main trend line that is in line with the trend, this one. Then we have a minor trend line that can run through here to keep us as a safety line. So the safety line is everything above this line. We are going to be looking to buy the market, everything above this trend line. So immediately it breaks here, we shall be looking at least to sell at least until somewhere here. But we have to as well be careful that this is just a safety line for this current movement, you know. Even though it's risky to sell, at least you can take short time sells, you know, as long as you're not close to this trend line here. But when you're taking a short, for example, in this week, you're supposed to be extremely careful because the trend is majorly to the upside. So you don't want to go opposite of that trend. Now, coming on to this side, the reason why I call it a safety line is because I don't want to be caught in that sell. So what at times I do is I'll just wait for the market to give us a pullback to key areas before buying again. And most times, if the trend is in line with the trend, like the market is in line with the trend, that's the best opportunity, you know. But then there is what we have been analyzing, where the market breaks the trend line, gives us a retest. That's been working for some time, but you're supposed to note that you have to be as well careful because you're literally going against the trend. Now, another thing, I've realized that the supply and demand zones that we're using before, we can add something small to it, you know, and most times I don't share about it. But the demand zones and supply zones that we are supposed to mostly consider are the ones that break structure. For example, if we have this momentum, most times we have been having these ones. Of course, sometimes they work, but supposed to be extremely careful. We can consider this structure here, this structure break, you know, because of this consolidation. But now you see this momentum that came into the market. We can mark out a demand zone from this candle, from the last bearish candle, and you can see how it retested that part. Now, for us to get another demand zone, look at this one. You see the way it broke structure here and it broke structure here. I mean this movement. We can develop a demand zone from here. And most times the ones what force the market to break structure are the strongest. And if the market comes back, even though it breaks this trend line, we can as well just look at this point. And that's what happened last week on Friday. Yes, the trend line had broken, but it had left a lot of space up. I saw Mark shorting it early. All I had to do is wait for an engulfing, and it's what rewarded me for that short-term sell. As you realize, if you go back to that chart, my sell was here. It literally came in the evening, and look at the momentum that it had to the downside. After this trend line here, this was the micro trend line that we had, and to me it was acting as a safety line. But you can see this market at some point, if you had taken this whole point like this, of course you are planning to short here. But if you look here, to me I did not get that best engulfing. I did not find it. So the market had to just come in and enter from here, exactly here, after this short, after this engulfing for me to short this market. So literally, I'm looking for buyers this week, and I want to see where the market is going to go. The thing is, the market has to move, we have to react to how it moves. Then, so many guys wanted to learn about crypto, but I sent you guys a link to join in MicroPlus. They've been teaching crypto there over and over again, but few people did. Few people did join the MicroPlus classes. Now we have to go for the crypto sessions differently. Of course, they're time consuming, but you guys saw it was in group, you know. I don't want to talk about it. But the crypto has been moving. I know people who invested last year, the year before that, are in profit. At least for the time we have talked about crypto in this group, you're all in profit, whether it's on XRP, the slowest, maybe Afro, which has not yet moved yet, but I know that move will come. But these other coins, XRP, Watts, all those are in profit, you know? Be it, I don't know what type of coin, Solana, all of them, at least there is that big difference. And the Buran even is not yet here. And that's why for someone who doesn't know about crypto, I really don't know. Because at least we can use it as that side income, like an asset whereby if you're at least trading Forex, you can put some money into crypto and you make something. And at some point, if we have that parabolic market, it returns very big, very, very big. I've seen people have lived through a bull run, and that's a lifestyle I admire. It's a lifestyle I admire a lot. Of course, the waiting time is long, but at the time when it comes, everything is repaid back awesomely, like huge, you know. Just do the math. If you had invested in crypto last week, just do the math of how much. By now, you're in above 50, at least 50% for some tokens, 50% increment, you know. So let's educate about crypto as much as possible, you know. So that's what I'm saying on GBP. I'm looking for that. But then on Bitcoin, this is what I've been trading on Bitcoin. The screenshots you saw and everything else, it's literally just this. This buy, then this shot up, then I started selling Bitcoin. Even when it came back here, I started shorting it. Now it's risky to sell Bitcoin, very risky. But as well, I think last week, there's a time I had analysis with Didan. I think Didan. And I told him that anything above this trend line, just for buys. But it doesn't mean the market will always buy. You can always go to lower time frames and get those short sales. Like the short sales have to happen. And of course, trend line break and retest. You have to always wait for that second retest. This first one is always noisy, but the second one, the white's huge. I know by the time you. So everything above this trend line is positive. But what happens if Bitcoin breaks below? That's where we may have problems of it coming back to 11 around here. And remember what I'm from telling you, the demand zones that break structure are very good to trade, very good to trade. So to me, if we break below this, I may see Bitcoin at 110. But for now, it's very risky to even short, you know. Though if you're to short, you're supposed to be fast with it. You're supposed to be fast with it and maybe follow fundamentals or you look at wallet activity and stuff like that. And if Bitcoin breaks above, it's going to go even up to 27, but we can put a safety line. Oh, it does even, is this a break? This can be a fake out, you know, this can be a fake out. So you have to watch exactly what happens here. So, but if you have a real break, like a very nice break to the upside, and it breaks structure and it breaks this point here. Anyway, let me just delete this. If it breaks like this key zone, again, the market is going to pump high. The crypto market is going to go so high if we have that break. Now this is now the crucial point. Breaks above this, it will be looking to break above this. And if it does, just look, it will just keep rising. And if this is the last point, and every time it breaks a major resistance, it first flies so high. So for now, it looks like a triangle. So you're supposed to just observe and see where this market is going. It's still so bullish because of this rectangle. So shorting it is very risky. So that's literally what I'm saying. Solana is above 200. Look at it, just keeps rising. And I remember the first call that we had about Solana. I had Solana at $38. That's when I bought in my first Solana. That was 2023. And you can see how profitable that has been. The weight is there, yes, but this was $30 around here. That's when I started buying. And now, of course, we have that movement to the upside. So let me do for you the math for those who are asking, how does the bull run math work? So every time someone talks about X's, let me just give you an example of just one last example. When someone talks about the multiplier effect, in cheap coins like Dogecoin, this is Dogecoin. So if we get Dogecoin, and this is crypto math. If you get Dogecoin and this is the position it's at, and you calculate the previous bull run, it made around 11,000%. You can see the percentage. Oh, this is 1,000 something percent, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this was last bull run. 1,000%. Wait, no, it started from here actually. So this is how fast the market moved in a space of around 1 month or 2 weeks. So if someone had invested, even though it was $10, this was 20 something percent. I hope you're seeing that blue thing. I'm just trying to see where it stops. This was 24,000%, from here to here. And that happened in about a few weeks. Chris, I'm going to come. So, oh, sorry. It was around 11,000%. I don't know why it showed me 20. 11,000%. So if you go and do the math, 11,000% is about 100x, if I'm right. Because 1,000% is 10x, then yes, it's around 100% x. So you get 100% x times the money that you invested in. So now for this bull run to happen, from here, just to back to all-time high, you guys know about structure. From here to all-time high, it needs around, let's say where it has begun from, it needs about, it has done 400%. It needs 400% to do that. That is a 4x. So you can just put your take profit here. If you, the person who, you can put your first take profit here because structure-wise, the market has to break structure, you know? So if this is the W pattern that starts a bull market, you never know. 4x on your investment to the first all-time high. Then the way people are saying this is going to be the biggest bull run, if it does another 11,000% on top of this, another 11,000% on top, that's a very big increment. And you haven't even traded, you haven't, you're just keeping money somewhere. So that's crypto math. It's just up to everyone else to take it, you know? So this guy, what's his name? Young King he came to me and he told me wants me to teach him. So yeah, we're going to start the sessions on Thursday, I believe. And we see 2 weeks we can know the basics, then the rest will come after. So I don't know if there are questions about the setups that have either GBP or something. I haven't looked at the charts, so I've told you guys the reason why. I've been off with school, but I'm almost done with school, There's a time I told people here that I was going back, and 2 years have passed, and I'm almost done, I'm almost done. In fact, this is my final month. By around 22nd, I'll be done with my degree. So after that, I don't know. I'll be trading now fully without distractions. So any question? Michael, I see.
Basically, I may not really have any question for now. The setup for last week, I missed out just because I stepped out to talk some.
How is your account though?
I keep the traders make simple. But I have not missed any in that account based on how the market has been going now. Only just been observing. However, outside this class,
Yeah, I'm losing you, but
what's up?
all right. We shall talk about it.
Inside this class, I would like to just invite you to listen.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll listen to it. So guys, I've been on and off, so you forgive me about that. Yeah, I can. Okay. So once again I apologize. I've been so yes, we can, Michael, we can. Okay. I think they can't get us. But yeah. I know people did project defense. I was being swung left and right, trying to catch up with Michael, we can hear you. I think his network was behind. But that's it. That's it. That's what I'm looking at this week. Buying GU, because this move has gone up. I want to see the market. Just give me a nice buy. Now it doesn't mean every time the market will come back. At times it doesn't. So we have to build on what this plays, You can have even another setup running through. So that when it breaks, like for example, if it gives structure, like for example here, it does this and does something like that can draw a micro trend line as a safety line. Because the more the market gets stiff, the more it gets stiff, the more you have a better opportunity of getting into that market and selling it quick. So most times I like the markets that are so stiff because I know the time it just crosses my trend line, I'm going to short it, and at least I'll get 50%. So if the market is forming such a movement to the upside and it's stiff, I can draw a quick trend line there and I just wait for it to break and then I'll sell maybe to a Fibonacci point or something like that, you know. But for now, let's just wait and see what it's going to do from here, you know, from here. So guys, that's it. That's it. I think I have a session with Mark. I'm not sure. Today is Tuesday. Yeah.